Hello Tushar, how are you, man? I'm good. Thanks, man. What about you? Long time no see. What have you been doing? what have you been doing, Tushar? Any good news or any, like anything you're working on at the moment? Me? I guess it's still like early for me, by the way, Cookie. It's you who's not like taking care of your healthy sleeping habits. Or maybe you're talking about yourself. Who knows? For me, it's still like 9:30 p.m. It is getting close, it's getting close to my, like sleeping time. But still, like I have at least like an hour or so. So as like I decided to stream like an hour and a half maybe, just to try to push things forward just a bit. Like the plan was for this project to be, yeah, I see. So the plan was for this, actually maybe you were there when I talked about this. Like there was like a plan that I talked about like maybe a month ago, or actually less than a month. I wanted to finish this by the end of the year, but then again, like I actually doubted that during that time, right? 12 a.m. Yeah, nice. Okay. Yeah, actually, I know that like we talked about that like some times ago, and it turns out like the difference between where I am and India is just 2.5 hours. So it's not like drastically different, right? It's not like, for example, how big the difference between like yourself or even myself and the US. Like to be like, for me, like the closest part of the US in the winter will be like an 8-hour difference, and the furthest part of the US would be like 11 hours. By the way, I still stream on Twitch, but I don't stream, at least for this character, I'm not streaming art stuff on Twitch. And I don't think they deserve, like, it's unfair for me to stream here on YouTube. And the part that I think it is allowed to be streamed on Twitch, I switch back to Twitch. No. So I decided, no, like, art will be done on YouTube, and on Twitch is when I do, like, some gaming, right? It's, like, less serious platform, It's still like streaming to catch up with those who, like who I used to catch up with on Twitch, and maybe convince them to start, like joining me on YouTube. Maybe we can create like a momentum to YouTube, and just give up on Twitch. Who wants Twitch? Actually, like growth and even money is on YouTube. If you manage to invest your time properly on YouTube and you gain an audience, then yeah, there is way much potential in YouTube than Twitch. And if you like ended up like failing, or let's say you wasn't successful, then anyway, it doesn't matter whether you do it on YouTube or Twitch. It will be the same. So yeah, rest in peace Twitch. But I will be streaming like more casual game there. Yeah, because again, it's unfortunate to ditch like a 500 followers. Actually, it's almost like 600 followers on Twitch. Although to be honest, like those are just numbers. Technically, when I stream there, I rarely go past 3 to 4 viewers per stream. Especially now that I'm not doing art. And most of those who follow me, actually they follow me for the art aspect of things. You're welcome. I love this type of music. I don't know why. It is relaxing and not too like it doesn't drain you. There is type of music that when you listen to, you feel like it drains your energy, right? Do you have exams tomorrow, Cookie? By the way, what is the weekend in India? Like what, like the 2 days of the week that considered to be weekend in India? Is it Sunday? Like, is it like Western board? Do you guys like have Sunday, Saturday, Sunday or something like that? Yay, much fun. Who doesn't like exams, man? Like there used to be my favorite time of the, like the semester when I was at school, when the exam comes. Yeah, I see. So it's kind of like similar to, like most Western countries. Have exams tomorrow and they haven't told us we are supposed to be there for the exams. fuck. So you have to be like, you have to go earlier just in case, unless they're gonna, post it somewhere, during midnight. Otherwise, like, what options do you have? Like, you have to be there earlier than usual, just to be safe. Have it ever happened to you, like, you went to like an exam after it was already, like after the exam ended, like the period of the exam is ended, like, have you ever missed an exam? And even worse, like, because like missing it is something, and like going thinking it's in a different time period, and once you reach like school, you discover, oops, it was supposed to be like 1 hour earlier. That sucks. It happened to me once. It was like really awkward feeling, but luckily, like my my teacher was nice. I went to his office and explained my situation. He told me, "Did you come now? Like, did you come to the to the university?" No, I told him yes. Like, I just barely got here. So he told me, "Okay, just stay at the office, like his office." And actually, there was another girl who came late as myself, and he just handed us like the exam paper and told us, "Okay, you have 1 hour." He left the office and told us, just like, once you finished, put it on the desk and leave. So it was like a really, unheard of like level of being nice. I actually forgot the name of that, teacher. He's a professor. Although, like, I used to remember his name for very, up to recent times. I used to remember his name, but I forgot. He used to be my favorite, actually. He was my favorite teacher. I'm lucky now because I can get to my college in 40 minutes earlier. It used to be 2.5 hours of travel on one way. Yeah, that sucks. It sucks when you have to travel for too long. It's kind of sucks. You end up wasting your time in transportation. Only ever was late on one exam once in my first exam for my first year external exam. I see. And what happened? Did you fail it, or did they, or did you manage to convince them to give you another chance or something? Only was 30 minutes late, and I did well on it. They didn't really care that I was late. Yeah, I don't think they care. It's just like you have to finish in time, although you missed like the first 30 minutes. Like, it never happened, at least like it never happened for me or someone who I knew. Like, it never the exam, what they call them, like committee or whatever, they would kick someone out because he came late. Actually, if anything, they would feel sorry for you. You have to finish in much less amount of time. You're not gonna get the same amount of time as everyone else, and it's not gonna be as, again, it's not, you can say it's not fair because it's your mistake. Yeah, true. I need to make her shallower, like her face needs to be shallow. But I'm not sure, should I push her eyes forward? Or should I just like bring the volume? I think I should just bring the volume forward. I think the nostrils are too deep at the moment. So let's just go X. Try to do it symmetrically because it will be too problematic if I were to do both sides manually. Also, I caught myself almost. Also, I caught myself almost slipping back into a cycle of let's just make one more model. I will do the texturing and rigging later on. After all, I know the basics of it. Yeah, be careful of that. Try it is fine if it happens every now and then, right? Because you probably, like myself, you enjoy the most like the sculpting modeling phase, but try not to slip into that cycle. And even worse, like try not to get into the cycle or slip into the because sometimes it might go beyond and start doing texturing and even rigging, but like the model isn't finished, right? So like at some point you say, okay, I'll go start like a new sketch just for fun, and then you end up getting invested in that sketch, and you find yourself you kind of ditching the previous one and just spending most of your time with that one. So yeah, I would say even if you have to like finish the current model not so perfectly, right? As long as you just finish it. I would rather that you do the other process, which is the following. Say like to yourself, I'll finish the model and publish it, even if it's not perfect, then jump to the new one, and later on I'll come back to it and perfect it and maybe repost it. This way, at least if you give up on it and not come back, like if you end up not going back to it, then not too big of a deal, because at least like you have something on your portfolio. Of course, there's sometimes when you feel like this project is doomed, and no matter how much time you put into it, it's not gonna look good, and like maybe you're not good at the subject you try to do. Like say like you're not good at doing male anime characters, and you try to do that, and then midway realize that this is not like it's not like fulfilling my like it's not giving me fulfillment. It's not like making me feel good about it. I'm not like thinking that this is probably not gonna get any attention. Probably like maybe it will hurt your portfolio, because like most of the time you can tell like if a project is really bad, right? Like you can sometimes get deceived if something that kind of bad but not too bad. But like when it's too bad, like it's easy to catch it. Make it active, focus on texturing and digging for a while. Yes, always feel like my sculpting will look mid. I could just go make something better and then go do the texturing. Yeah, same thing. And not just that, like because usually it take me long period of time doing the thing, but I feel like okay, it's been a while since I did a sculpting. I'm afraid that I'm losing my my skills when it comes to sculpting. Let me just go and double check and be sure. And that's also like hurting me in another way, that I think it is a waste of time that I always start from a sphere. I proved to myself that I can start from a sphere. I did it so many times by now, so I don't think like I lack the ability to sculpt it from a sphere and get like all the features and whatnot. So it will be more beneficial for me starting like from the next project or in the near future to start from a dummy mesh, whether it's my own dummy mesh or something coming from Zbrush or like a character creator, MetaHuman, whatever the process is, but save myself some time. And this way, by the way, if I do it that way, this will allow me to put more time and energy on making clothes, texturing, rigging, for example, and do like the more rendering and stuff like that, do hair and so on. So I need to be careful of that. And I think like for example what I'm doing here, which is like I'm doing likeness, right? But I feel like I need to be honest with myself. No matter how I put time into it, it's not gonna look perfect, because like again, this is like a process that probably will take me years to perfect likeness. I'm not gonna be like, I won't be able to solve it now, like once and forever. So I need to put to myself like maybe time limit or like a level limit, whatever it can, like whatever it is, but like say okay, after that I need to jump and start working. So are these exams, you're taking now the final exams for the semester? I would assume so, because like we're in, almost, like we're almost getting close to the new year. But I'm not sure like where you are. But when you put the metal shader, it makes it so, it makes you doubt what you're doing, because you start seeing every mistake, Yeah, I see. Cool. By the end of this, how many years left for you? Like 1.5, 2.5, like how long before you, you're done with the school? But one after this one semester or 1 year? Oh man, time flies. Yesterday you just, got into, university. My God. And how many how many years your program is based on that? So like by next June, July, you'll be graduate. Congrats, man. And welcome to the, to the job market. Almost been 3 years, I see. Nice. Yeah, probably after that you start, chasing for jobs and looking for jobs. But I guess you have that young blood in you. You'll have better success and better opportunities, and people when they're young, they're more, they have better luck, and they're more willing to take less than perfect chances. And over time, these less than perfects become, like the stepping stone for you to go for much better jobs. By the way, are you required to do an internship during your program? Have you done it, or do you have to do it eventually, like by next semester? Or is it no? Cynical as fuck. I see. No, don't be mad. I know, hunting for jobs is not easy. It's just like it's a time game. It's just like, persevere for, like for a period of time, and you'll get a job. So don't worry. Do you plan to look is it among your plans to look for jobs outside, outside your country, like abroad? Say for example, like Malaysia. Like, are you willing to go to a country like Malaysia, or maybe like Singapore, Vietnam, or do you want to try your best to stay, like working for local studios and companies? People's be out here asking for everything and giving 200 as competitive monthly salary. The level of delusion are scary. Or maybe they just don't expect any actual quality. Can never tell. By the way, is it like a livable wage, 200 in India? Because I don't know how, things change. Life expenses changes every time, everywhere. But is it livable? And I know if you look at it from from the perspective of global market, this is nothing, right? $200 is nothing. But let's just focus on India now, where you live, where you live at the moment. Is 200 a livable wage? Because here's my advice from experience. I used to think similarly. I should be paid $400, $4,000 a month, or at least $2,000, whatever, blah blah blah, which is cool. Everyone wishes that they can get paid insane amount of money and live the most comfortable life possible. Save money, buy the best and the best PCs out there, is equal to what you can get paid working at KFC or in a mall. And is that like as an entry job, like when you go working as a, let's say, 3D artist or a graphic designer as an entry, or like do you almost get stuck at that level? Because again, like think of it this way, if that's like the entry level as a KFC, and within like a year or two you can go like double it or something, then here's my advice. I think it's fine, like you're too young and you have all the time ahead of you. So, and I know this is like taking advantage, but two things. First, if it's gonna evolve in the future, don't say no to these opportunities, because in them you will gain your, like, it's like a necessary evil. Without it your CV will always be empty. You don't have a real experience, right? So think of it this way, like you're trading 1 year of your life for the experience, and maybe eventually like you get like a raise. Second, let's talk about the actual salary. That this is not like what they get paid in the UK, or this is not what they get paid in the US. In my opinion, don't think that way. Think, is it acceptable where I am? Because if you think the other way around, like technically, why would a big studio be hiring someone from outside their local area? So say like a British studio, why would they hire someone from like any country for that matter? Because I doubt like there is a lack of skills when it comes to the UK itself, right? Same thing for the US. The only reason why they hire someone from outside is that they want to pay less and they want to save money. And because your economy, like your country economy, allow them to do such thing, then you should be, I wouldn't say like you should be glad, but you should take advantage of such thing. And they know like it can like create this like bad dynamic, but again, you're not gonna change the world, trust me. So just take advantage of the existing system and try to make it work for yourself. I know maybe like for the collective of artists it's not, it's a damaging behavior, but again, like you're not gonna, we're no ones, like we're not unions, we're not like big like vocal vocal voices in the in the world. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. I don't want to kind of like give you too much, I don't want to annoy you with my advices, but this is because again, like it happened, like I used to be at your, like in your position, and I was even like better than you in a way that I had experience back then. I had like 8 years of experience working for a studio, and was like usually will be rejecting like opportunities, saying nope, that's not 4K, that's not 2.5K, my worth is way higher. It could be correct, like maybe my worth is higher, it's just like you need to think like logically of the world around you, and also think of it from, as I said, like from financial perspective. Will you be able to live? Is it gonna be comfortable living? Who cares like if that's kind of like fair or not? You can't talk about yourself in your country, in your situation. And no one says like no one says not to jump to another position or another studio. Actually doing so, you could even after that start negotiating like later on. And of course not a studio will be open to negotiation. Some of them will kick you out. Like if they feel like you started like demanding more salary, they'll try like to create the situation where they tell you we don't want you for whatever reason. Like maybe they want to be like straightforward, like we don't want you because you're asking for more money. They might say like, okay, we don't have projects anymore, and we like there's no no more, like there's no need for this like a huge number of artists to be hired at the moment. And if you really, really hate like the salaries in your country, you can always like think of, moving abroad, right? Just go to another country where they, like let's say China, they pay better salaries. Just get good enough and create a portfolio, and maybe like do your, like do your research and just find a studio that's looking for someone at your skill level and willing to do the papers for you and whatnot. I don't like the skull, how it looks here. I feel it's too big in a weird way. I'll go before I fall asleep with earphones, and good night. Sensei, make sure to night me if you find me trying to make another model without having made progress in texturing. I'll do it, don't worry. Take care, Cookie. And yeah, see you probably like in the next stream. I'm not sure, maybe I'll be streaming also tomorrow. But I do understand if you couldn't come, like you have exams and whatnot. So probably you're too busy. You have too much stuff on your plate. But anyway, good luck and see you later, man. And yeah. And probably like I myself will end the stream very soon. I'll stream for another couple of, like maybe 10 minutes, something like that. And then just go, prepare myself to go to bed, brush my teeth, and whatnot. I'm breaking the symmetry on the ear. This is like unheard of level of asymmetry. And I don't like actually that I'm doing that to the ears. But again, like, it is too much. Like, it's unneeded. It's just the ears, man. Who cares about ears? It's wasted time. Okay, that's it for today's stream. I know that this one is a shorter stream, but just like adding 1 hour after the other, you know, would be better than not doing anything, or yeah, would be better than not doing.